Welcome back to the garage, guys. Well, we're back on the smoker again today. We've got a few hours to work on it. We're gonna try and get the casters added. We're gonna cut out some spacers for the bottom, weld them on, get the casters on. We're gonna plasma cut out the pieces for the firebox, get the firebox welded together, and we'll see if we can get that done. If we get it done, we're gonna mark the edge of the tank, and we're gonna get that cut out done as well and see if we can't get that firebox attached. So we plasma cut out these circles. They're not perfectly round, they're a little oblong to match the shape of the tube that we notched, but we just spot welded a nut on. So we're gonna set these on. We're gonna get some beads around, and then we're gonna get the casters put on. Well, we got the tank upright and we've got it up on a jack stand. Jackson's going to screw in these casters. Well, Jackson, lift her off the jack stand. Let's see how it rolls. Not too bad. Spins around nice. It's going to be easy to move.
Yeah, way easier than it was.
Looking pretty good. Well, push that sucker to the side and let's get that plasma cutter out. So we've got all the pieces cut out for the door. Boy, is it going to be one heavy door. You can see where we cut the slots for the air dampers over here. We did take the grinder to them a little bit to make sure there was no burrs on them, because they're going to slide back and forth for the air damper. The holes are 1 inch. The spacing between them is 1 1/8 or 1 1/4, so that they'll fully close when we get it all set up. So we did brush those with the grinder to make sure they're going to run smooth. We also, on the door and the door opening, we hit those with the grinder a little bit as well, just because we knew, you know, you're going to be reaching in and out and we don't want to get any snags on it. So one thing we had made, we're going to run a partially insulated firebox. So we had a big belly pan made, and this is 3/8 inch steel, and we had it cut out and rolled to our distance. So it's from corner to corner, it's 23 3/4, so it'll fit inside our 2-foot firebox. So we had that rolled. It's going to sit about 1 inch, 1.5 inches off the bottom, and then it'll have an air gap underneath here to help with starting wood faster and retaining heat. The top won't be insulated, so it lets off some of that heat, so it doesn't get that raging heat going into the cook chamber. So the company that made this belly pan for us did an excellent job. It appears to be laser cut and then rolled, and when we take a square to it, it's perfectly square in that direction. It's perfectly square in the other direction. So we're not even going to use squares to square this firebox up. We're just going to use that belly pan as our main square when we go to assemble and weld. So we're going to get moving on that. Okay, we've got it kind of lined up. Jackson's going to go ahead and get some tacks in here. Well, Jackson, grab the door plate and see how it fits on the top.
We're gonna have to move that belly pan around a little bit, but looks like it's gonna fit right on. Yeah. Nice, good. No seam really at all there, which is what we were looking for.
Good. Love it when things work out. We'll see if we can't get that squared up and move forward. So we put some tacks on the inside here on the corners, and the thing really squared up nice. The belly pan is still loose in here. If we look at the belly pan, I can still move it a little bit. But so we're just going to put the belly pan till it's even with our door cutout right here, and then we'll weld it from the inside back here, and then we'll weld on the seams on the top in here, or on the seams down in here. We decided it was going to be easier to fit the top like this because we're doing a recess top. Top's going to sit down a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, so we can use it as a grill top if we want. So go ahead, Jackson, let's see if we can get that thing in there and square it up. So we set the bottom on, and it actually fits really nice. We're going to have a little bit of reveal on there to be able to weld, so I'll have a little bit of a gap, but it's square, it fit up nice. So we're going to pull that belly pan, or pull that bottom off, Jackson, if you could grab that, lift it off, and we're going to start doing some final weld on here. So we're going to weld these two welds here for the belly pan. We're going to weld that one in, and we're going to weld this side in. We're going to do the other two, the long sides, from the inside. Let's see you man up and see if you can flip that over. Well, we got it flipped up on its bottom, and we're going to weld that top in. So that's the next step. Good? Yep. So we picked up this box of insulation from Granger. It's 8-pound ceramic blanket. So it's rated up to about 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. It's 2 feet by 5 feet. I guess I thought it was going to be a little bit thicker, but you know, it's going to fit in there. Should be able to just fold it in half.
24 by 30.
Yep, and just tuck it in. It might fall down once we weld the bottom on, but we're just trying to keep that bottom metal from getting so hot and reflecting onto the ground and other things, because it's going to sit very close to the ground. So we're just going to set it in there, not secure it, move the top on, and see how it turns out. So we knew we needed to be 10 inches up from the bottom of the tank. So we made a mark 10 inches up from the bottom, and then we made a parallel line to the ground using just a straight edge on here. So we've got the horizontal cutout line marked, and now we're gonna mark the radial cutout line. Well, we've got this tank flipped over again. Hope we don't have to do that anymore. We've got a stainless steel scale on there, and it's flexible. So we've, just like we did before, we ratchet strapped it on, and we're going to use the guide on the plasma tip, and we're going to see if we can't get that thing plasma cut out along there, a nice straight line. Take a look at this cut. Not too bad of a cut along there. It'll probably bust right out. Nice and easy. Well, it went okay. We just got off the line just a little bit for a second. Well, we've got the firebox ready to mate up with the smoker tube. We've got a bunch of wood. We've got it leveled. We got it plumbed. We ran into one mistake though. When we welded this top on, we sunk it down a 1/2 inch because we might make a griddle up here, but we can't get the tank on. So this far edge here was not supposed to have the lip on it. We just forgot when we welded it together, so we had to cut out these corners. And now when we lift the tank on, we can't just roll it in, we got to lift it over that edge to drop it in. So we're going to work on that and see if we can get it married up. Well, we've got the firebox in the tank all mated up. We're using a big ratchet strap to pull it into place. We got a little bit of a gap, you know, we didn't get it perfect down here, but that'll be easy to fill with the weld. We're pretty good along the top to get that done, and we're all level and plumb with the tank. With the adjustable caster wheels on the tank, it made it easy. We just leveled the firebox on the wood here with some shims, and then we brought the tank in and leveled it with the caster. So we're gonna get that welded on.
Guess they weren't rated for 300 pounds.
Well, we just had a caster failure. Rated for 300 pounds. Snapped off the stem. The hell's with that? Well, we got no choice but to move on with a broken caster and keep welding. Well, there's the aftermath of that caster. Looks like it just bent and broke right off that stem caster. We had them up a little tall for attaching the firebox. We were just spinning it around, and it just must have hit a little rock on the floor, bent and broke. So we're gonna have to rig something up because I can't leave this sit in the middle of my garage. Well, guys, we're gonna have to end the video there. We'd hoped to get a little bit farther, but that broken caster set us back. Took us a little bit of time to figure out how we could get it back on temporarily, because we need to move this thing into the corner. But with that, we're happy the firebox, we were able to build it. We got it attached. It wasn't too bad of a deal. So far into this smoker, we've got 3 afternoons. The JD's Garage Plasma Cutter is sure making this this job a lot less work to get the parts cut out and get them fabbed up. With that, guys, make sure to like and subscribe.